Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the Game Week 9 deadline stream, and it's been a while. Obviously, as you guys know, it's been international break, so we've had a bit of a break from football, and we are ready to go again. Um, and I'm excited for the matches this weekend. It feels like it's been ages since I watched some Premier League football, and I'm so glad it's back. How you doing, Jordan? Is everything good though? You glad the footy's back?
Yeah, I'm glad the football's back. I'm glad it's the weekend and we can all chill out and watch, obviously, the Premier League matches in Game Week 9. And hopefully, in terms of fantasy, it does go really well for us. And yeah, we're here just for this last hour before, obviously, the deadline does finish.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get into it. I just got my team up on the screen quickly, so we'll go through what we're doing. Um, so yeah, hopefully you guys can see that properly. But yeah, if you guys are coming into the stream, make sure you guys hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed, as always, guys. So yeah, it's just been a busy week, hasn't it? For me,
Yeah,
so it just feels nice now to get back into football, and we got Merseyside derby at 12:30. So again, I'll be watching that. Liverpool Everton should be a decent game. But anyway, let's go. Let's talk about FPL. That's why we're here. So let's start off with currently what my team looks like. So in goal, I do have Areola. Back three, I've gone with Dan Burn, Matty Cash, and Pedro Porro for the back three. In the midfield, I've gone Madison, Diaby, Neto, Son, and Mo Salah. Then up top, I've got Watkins and Haaland captain at the moment. So I am playing a 3-5-2. On the bench, I have Strakoshka, Archer, Gabriel, and Taylor. Now, I could be tempted to play Strakoshka, who's got Burnley, but I'm not 100% sure because what's the deal with Flecken?
well, with Flecken, I mean, even if he's match ready, I mean, I'll still play Strakostka because Herrera will just get substituted back on.
I mean, it's just with Brentford. Brentford have only won one game all season, which is mad when you think about it. So yeah, I could. I mean, I still rate Areola quite highly, even against Villa. I just feel like he's one of those goalies that will concede a goal, but will get 4 or 5 points because of save points. So that's why I'm scared to bench Areola. But I could play the Brentford backup keeper. Let's see. But yeah, that's what the team looks like. We've got Dan in the chat who says, "Good luck today, lads." Yeah, good luck to you, Dan. Good luck to everyone for this game week. Jordan, let's pull up your team. Just talk us through your 11 and then your bench as well.
Okay, so in goal we have Areola, who has Aston Villa away. In the back three, we've got your doggy, you've got Fulham at home, Luca Dean, you've got West Ham at home, and Trippier, who has Crystal Palace at home. In the midfield four, we've got Madison and Son, who both have Fulham at home, Bowen, who has Aston Villa away, and Mbeumo, who has Burnley at home. And up front, we've got the forward three of Darwin, who has Everton at home, Watkins, who has West Ham at home, and Haaland, who has Brighton at home. And on the bench, we've got Leno, who has Tottenham away, Andreas, who also has Tottenham away, Branthwaite, who has Liverpool away, and Taylor, who has Brentford away.
Okay, nice one. And in terms of going back to my team, as you guys saw in the team selection video, I'm currently planning to actually roll the transfer. So when I've looked at my team, there's obviously I've wildcarded in game week 8. So usually after a wild card, you don't require transfers. I mean, you shouldn't require transfers if you've set your wild card up correctly. So I'm gonna roll. I think the team is fine. I'm happy to go with this side. Only thing debate I have surrounding my team is captaincy. As you guys can see, I've got it on Haaland currently. However, that could easily switch to Salah. I think I am tempted to go Salah again this week, but I just think Haaland could bounce back, and that's why I've got it on Haaland this week. I think Haaland against Brighton at home is still a good fixture. But same question to you, Jordan, with your team. You've got Haaland captain. Obviously, you are not a Salah owner. If you had Salah, would you be tempted, or do you think Haaland is still for you the main guy this week?
I think Haaland's still the main guy for me this week, especially when he has Brighton, because Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet so far this season. They've conceded in every game they've played. And I think this is the match where Man City, I think, want to bounce back in, especially losing back-to-back matches beforehand. I think this one they really need those 3 points. So I think in that game, I think Haaland's going to hopefully put that game obviously to bed really early, get the 3 points and comfortably for Man City, and move forward. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it on Haaland, but let us know in the chat, guys, who you captaining this week. I might do a little poll: Haaland or Salah, or Son. Have you thought about Son, a Spurs player who's got Fulham at home, or do you think it's just they're not at all in the running for you?
No, I don't think Son's in the running for me. I mean, it wasn't as convincing when watching them play for Luton, where Spurs only won 1-0, and it was quite a cagey
Missed a lot of
game.
chances though.
Yeah,
could have been a lot more.
It could have been a really 4-0 win for Spurs early on in that game if they completed their chances. So yeah, it could have gone either way in that game. But I just think because of that, it just slightly puts me off going for Spurs captain. I think.
Sherwin with a comment as well. City will put at least 3 past Brighton. Haaland easy captain.
Oh, very, very confident, Sherwin.
Would you make of that? I mean, you're confident as well, aren't you, on Haaland? And you don't see yourself switching at all.
No, I don't see myself switching at all. I think this is one of those game weeks where Haaland is probably one of the popular picks to go for a captain just because of the fixture he has, and especially at home at the Etihad. You would think Man City would easily score past Brighton, especially when obviously Brighton, as I said, haven't kept a clean sheet so far this season, but also it's the fact that Brighton are missing a key player, Estepinian, in defence. So even without him, that causes worry at the back for Brighton.
Yeah, that's a fair point you've made there, to be fair. Dan also says Haaland or Salah captain is my problem. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. However, I'm not as convinced as I was last game week. Because last game week, it was tight for me. Maybe Salah edged it. Obviously, in the end, I went Salah. But this week, I am more confident on Haaland. It's also because maybe it's a little, the early kickoff thing. Don't back the early kickoff. So Salah obviously playing Everton at home, 12:30. Everton are a strange team. I know Everton actually have had a decent season in terms of creating chances. Like, they're one of the highest creating chances in the league, I believe. I think they've created more chances in terms of XG than Liverpool, which is a bit of a mad one when you check the stats. However, I do think Liverpool should have enough to get the win, especially being at home. But Everton, I don't think will make it easy. So and it's a derby. Most of our derby, anything can happen in those type of games. So that's why I'm reluctant, to be honest, to go ahead and captain Salah, and I think I'm going to keep it on Haaland. But coming to your team, Jordan, just switching over.
Yeah.
Obviously, Salah and Liverpool is a big talking point for this game week. Obviously, Merseyside derby. Liverpool assets look pretty decent. Are you worried as a non-Salah owner, or what's your take on it? Because you've got Darwin who may not start. What do you think as a non-Salah owner? How do you feel about that game?
I don't feel as worried because I still have a Liverpool asset, which is Darwin. But at the same time, I'm worried that he may not start. But I'm hoping he does come on the pitch and make an appearance in that game, because we've seen Darwin come off the pitch a few times and manage to score. And might be one of those games where Darwin comes off the bench and manages to if Liverpool are struggling, let's say against Everton, and Darwin comes on the pitch, he's one of those players that changes the game around if it's not going all the way for Liverpool, in favour of Liverpool. But especially at Anfield, I don't think Liverpool will have many problems with Everton. I mean, hopefully Darwin does get some minutes in that game and hopefully gets a return. But I would be worried if Darwin is not on the bench at all and is missing from the squad.
He should be on the bench. Liverpool is the early kickoff, so I'm hoping we get some leaks regarding the lineup. And for me, as a Liverpool fan, if I was to guess right now, obviously no info, I think the front three will be Salah, Jota, and Diaz. So that's what I think it will be today. Klopp will go with, because we know Darwin played 90 minutes. Darwin actually was brilliant in the international game, scoring against Brazil and getting an assist. Also, this comment here from Jenny says, thoughts on Cody Gakpo. Now, we know Cody Gakpo's missed, I think, the last 2 games for Liverpool. Or was it, sorry, 1 game. He missed the game against Brighton in the 2-2 draw. But he's back. He was seen in training, I think, on Thursday or Friday, and he should be in the squad. However, will he start? I'm not sure. I just think Jota's going to get the game because Jota obviously had the red card and he's back. He's been training, so I'd be surprised if Jota doesn't start. Going to this question, Jordan, who would you start? Would you start Anderson, who's got Newcastle, or would you start Thiago Silva, who's got Arsenal?
I'd probably say start Anderson over Thiago Silva. I think Chelsea have a much difficult fixture playing Arsenal, who did beat Man City last game week. So I imagine they're looking pretty confident going forward now that they've beaten their biggest rival in the Premier League as well. But yeah, I'll probably side towards Anderson. I mean, Crystal Palace. Sorry, who did Crystal Palace have?
They play Newcastle.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, with them having Newcastle again, it is a tough fixture for Crystal Palace, but I think it's less of a challenge compared to when you have Arsenal v Chelsea, especially in the derby as well. That's going to be a very interesting game. But yeah, I'll probably start Anderson over Thiago Silva.
Yeah, I'll probably go with the same thing there. But yeah, we'll look at the fixtures in a bit. There's some good games actually. Liverpool Everton we spoke about. Man City Brighton I think at 3:00 looks like a nice fixture. Chelsea Arsenal is going to be a good one. Then we do have an 8 p.m. kickoff today, which is Sheffield and Man United, which is strange kickoff time, but again, obviously you'll keep an eye out on that. So yeah, some good games today. Let us know what games you guys are going to be watching.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to watch that Man United or Sheffield United. I'm debating it, but I probably will in the
end. Also, guys, if you are just joining in, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well, and hit that notification bell as well, so you don't miss out when we go live. But yeah, transfer moves for your team. I've got it on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Are you still certain you're rolling the move, or any last minute plans?
Well, there is one exception, and this is if we hear any early team news on Liverpool. If I see that Darwin is potentially benched, might do a transfer. It's 50-50 on that.
Okay, let's say we get an early team news. Let's say we get a leak. Darwin's benched. What are you doing? Who would you take Darwin out for?
Well, with the amount of money I have, because I've got extra 2 million in the bank, I could pretty much get anyone that I want in that forward lineup. But to be fair, there's not many to pick from. And obviously, Isaac is a flag. I would have been tempted at him. Awoniyi is red flag. As another player, I would also be tempted to bring in. It could be Alvarez that I could bring in, I think, as the best choice in that forward line.
I think he had a price rise as well last night. He's now 7.1.
Yeah, he's now 7.1. So a lot of people have brought him in going forward into this match as expected, because obviously Man City look like they're going to obviously win that game, and it should be a high scoring one on Man City side as well. But yeah, I think it'll most likely be Alvarez. Again, it could be risky because Alvarez also played an international break. But apart from that, there isn't really any other forward that I'd be tempted to go for.
Okay, we'll see what we do closer to the deadline. Hopefully, we do get some news. But yeah, for what I think, I'll be surprised if Darwin starts. Comment here, lads. Hope you're well. Rain across England today. Will it rain against Everton at the dreaded 12 noon today? Anyway, thoughts on Gabriel Jesus? Needs Salah, so waiting for 2 free transfers for next week. But yeah, we're well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, the weather's not been great this past week. A lot of rain if you live in England. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, if you're asking me that question, the 12 p.m. kickoff is a dreaded one. I think I actually said there was a stat. Liverpool have played 14 times at 12 p.m. kickoffs since Klopp's been in charge, and the next team is Spurs with 6. So it does seem a bit disproportionate. So it's one. And Liverpool don't have a great record at 12 p.m. So hopefully it can be a bit of a turning point. Wait, Jordan, what do you think of Gabriel Jesus as an option? You were talking about strikers and Jesus. Have you considered it, or?
As much as I like Gabriel Jesus, it's just the fact that I think he's a bit too wild when he gets chances to obviously score, because all the chances he mostly gets either are miss kicks or not on target, and it slightly puts me off of picking Gabriel Jesus because I think I would prefer Nketiah over Gabriel, if I'm honest. If I had to pick between strikers for Arsenal, but
Looking at Arsenal's fixtures, Chelsea next, obviously this game week, Sheffield after that, Newcastle, Burnley, Brentford, Wolves, Luton. And I've actually not looked at Jesus' ownership. I'm just going to check now. I don't think he's in many teams. So, okay, very low owned, 3.5% only. So he could be a very nice differential. He's only got 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season. So he's not been as prolific. However, he did miss the first 3 matches of the season, and then he came off. Sorry, he came on as a sub, I think, in game week 4 and 5. So he's only really played 3 games, full games, and he got a goal in the. Sorry, he got an assist in those 3 against Bournemouth. So, in my opinion, I don't think it's a bad shout actually. If you want to be different, and you're looking to be at the differential, like I don't think you necessarily need to shift him. I just think he could still be a nice little pick. I know he takes up a bit of money. What's his price at the moment? 7.9. So I'd rather have Watkins. I mean, Darwin is the player that I'd want in my team, like as a wild card pick, because Darwin's one of those players that just exciting to own. I know FPL we play it because we do like having fun, and I think Darwin's one of those players that when you have him in your team, it's just fun to have him because you don't know what you're going to get sometimes. So yeah, but I think Jesus is fine.
Yeah, I think he's a nice differential, especially at that ownership, considering he was about 80% owned last season, and now he's only a differential percentage this season is pretty crazy, especially the way Arsenal are playing as well. But yeah, I think he's a good pick long term, even for that Chelsea game, but definitely for that Sheffield United one afterwards. That could be a good pick.
This is a fair one. Obviously, he's played Jesus on the left, but however, I think that's because Martinelli as well has been out for a couple of games, so that's why he switched him there. Maybe Martinelli's back now. He goes with Jesus down the middle. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, Jesus isn't someone that you have to keep. It's just one of those where it could pay off. Definitely, Jesus will get a haul. I'm pretty sure. It's just how long you'll have to wait for that. In that regard. Do you think Saka will start? As always, a question.
That one is not sure because he was withdrawn from the England squad in the international match that they had last.
Still flagged.
And he's still flagged, but he could be back to face Chelsea, but it's not set in concrete that at all. So again, that's a 50-50 on whether Saka starts or not.
Yeah, if there's any Arsenal fans in the chat, let us know in the comments. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Saka does start. If I had him, would I keep him? I'm not. It's a hard one to say.
Yeah,
it's tough. I probably would just go without him. He might feature, but it's just hard to predict. Really, I don't think Arteta has actually come out and said anything regards Saka. I'm just seeing if there's going to be any leaks, but even like Botman's another one where people don't really know whether he's going to play or not. So yeah, it's hard to call. Dan with the comment, Arteta says Saka wants to play, but will face a late fitness test to see if he's okay. Staying on Arsenal, Saliba replacements for 5.7 million.
Saliba replacements. Well, there's quite a few that you can pick from. Obviously, you can go Spurs for Udogie or Pedro Porro, or you can go Aston Villa like Luca Dean or Matty Cash. I think those 2 teams I'll probably be looking to target because they're a nice run of fixtures and they're cheap as well. Especially Luca Dean. I have him in my team, and I think he's 4.7 now, so he did have the price rise. But yeah, I use one of the players that I like to bring in because of his cheap price and the long-term run of fixtures Aston Villa do have.
Yes, I've just seen Saliba is flagged with a 75% chance of playing, so I didn't actually realize
Yeah,
Saliba had a knock, to be honest.
he he had a toe injury, uh,
Yeah.
and he was withdrawn from international duty, from obviously France. But he says he will be assessed though before the Chelsea game.
I think
So
he'll be fine.
yeah,
To be honest, I think if you're relying on Saliba as a starting centre back, then maybe you have to do a move. However, I'll just try bench him if you can. Try see if he plays against Chelsea, and then maybe keep him. But in terms of 5.7 million budget, cash, Poro's looking good. Um, I actually think Gabriel is a good pick. I know he's an Arsenal teammate. Now, Gabriel, I've got him in my team as a bench player at the moment. But I just think longer term, I can see myself actually using Gabriel when the fixtures turn for Arsenal again. Look at Sheffield in game week 10 is a nice fixture, and you could just easily play Gabriel for that one. Game week 12 at Burnley, you could see a clean sheet there. Brentford, you could even see a clean sheet against Brentford. Wolves, Luton. So Arsenal do actually have some nice fixtures coming up in the next, mid-term sort of fixture block. So I think Gabriel is actually a good pick, and he's only 4.7 million as well. So, and he has a bit of a attacking threat as well on set pieces.
yeah. Or you could even be tempted to go at that. Maybe Ben White. He is 0.1 cheaper, and he does have preferably a bit of attacking threat as well. He has got 1 goal and 1 assist so far this season.
He's
and
too expensive for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, he is a bit pricey. That's the only thing. Otherwise, if he was a bit cheaper, Ben White, I think he'd be a decent pick. But he has played 90-minute football every game so far this season.
Yeah, the only thing with Ben White, I think he's 5.6, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 5.6, so he's only 0.1 cheaper.
Yeah, so you save a lot, nearly 0.9 or whatever it is, going Gabriel. So for me, Gabriel, for me, it's a no-brainer, and because sometimes, if you wildcarded, etc., the budget is a bit tight, so I just save the money. Jordan, I'll ask you this question. We'll both answer this question. You go first. Ali Mack with a comment. Who's the one player that you don't own that you fear this week? Mine is Trippier, says Ali Mack.
Well, Ali, that mine would be Trippier if I didn't own him this week. But because I have Trippier, the player I do fear this week, I'd say is, I think it's going to be Salah. I think Salah's the player I do fear this game week, who has Everton at home, because I do have Darwin, but even Darwin is a doubt in terms of Liverpool assets. I would like to have one going forward into that game, just in case Salah does get something, which he probably will from the Everton game. As more of the more I see it, the more I see Salah scoring in that game. So I just hope that Darwin, unfortunately, may not start. It's annoying because the international break, because he would have been perfect for that game, I think, and he would have been a nice, a nice step to fall on. I think if Salah did get something from that game, because if Darwin did as well, it would sort of balance out. I think in terms of the rank change.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you were saying something.
But yeah, that was it pretty much. Salah would be the one that I feared this game week.
In terms of me with my team, I think it has to be Trippier probably as well, because I don't own Trippier. Trippier has Palace at home, so it's one of those games where Trippier could get a clean sheet, could get an attack in return, could get 3 bonus points, and then he's got a double-digit haul. So I'll probably go Trippier, but as you guys know, I had that debate sort of around game week 8. Do I have Trippier? Do I have Salah? And I went Salah, and for me so far it's paid off. And I couldn't fit both of them in, so I had to choose. And I'm still glad I went Salah over Trippier, but is Trippier the one? I'm hoping that Burn somehow can kind of catch up, but obviously we know Trippier is a bonus points magnet, so that's the worry.
Yeah, that's the only way with Trippier. Even though he didn't get a clean sheet last game week, for example, he did get bonus 2 points, and got obviously 6 points from that game. So even without a clean sheet for Trippier, he can still get bonus points if he does get an attack in return, which he got an assist in that 2-2 draw against West Ham.
Comment here from Jenny Berry. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. I hope you have a great week and enjoy your weekend as well. Think Martinelli might start on the left and Eddie loses his place. Says Dan. Yeah, it's all possible. It's all possible, definitely. Martinelli will be coming back into the side, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think he's a big miss, Martinelli, for Arsenal since he's been injured. Just missing those attacking runs that Martinelli makes down that left hand side is so exciting to watch.
Mm. He hasn't played in the last. So he played against Man City. Obviously, he played 45 minutes in the last game. But so yeah, I mean, Martinelli is he's a key player for Arsenal. I think he did really well last season with the goals and assists he got. And yeah, he's back in the team, so that will change the dynamic again of the front three. And maybe plays better while Martinelli's on the pitch. I don't know. Um, but yeah, guys, let us know who you're captaining in the comments below. Is anyone tempted with the Mo Salah captaincy, or are you set on Haaland? And yeah. In terms of transfers, it seems game week 8 wildcard is a bit boring. A lot of us are rolling the moves. We could discuss game week 10 as well, because a lot of us are going to have 2 free transfers in game week 10, yourself included.
Yeah,
I want to see what you do going to your team again. So let's say you've got 2 free transfers next week. What would you do next week? Obviously, it's still very, very early. What are you thinking the next moves you want to make in your team?
in terms of my team, I think next moves would be. It depends on Embremo. I think if he doesn't do well in the Burnley game this game week, then he definitely becomes a transfer out. I think into game week 10. So I'd most likely take out Embremo. And in terms of who I bring in that midfield, that's a very precious position. I mean, if I did take out Embuemo, I would have 8.9 million in the bank, and I would probably bring in. I'll probably bring in Matoma. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously the fixtures do swing because they do play Man City obviously this game week 9, but in game week 10 they have Fulham, 11 they have Everton, then in 12 they have Sheffield United at home, which is a really nice fixture I like to look at. Nottingham Forest away in 13, Chelsea in 14, and Brentford at home in 15. And then Burnley in game week 16. So they have a nice long run of fixtures for literally the next 7 weeks after they play Man City in game week 9. So I think I would like to have a Brighton attacker going long term, I think, in that run of fixtures.
FPL agent says, guys, will Diaz play? I think he will play. I think he will start. We know he's been on international duty, but the last time he was on international duty, he did actually come back and start straight away. So yeah, I think the front three is Salah, Diaz, and Jota against Everton. But we will see come closer to the deadline. Hopefully, we get a team leak. Ali Max says, I have Rashford, sell or keep for 1 more week. Now, again, this depends on your wildcard horizon. If you're wildcarding next week in game week 10, which I assume you are because you still have Rashford, then I probably would keep Rashford. I know he's not been good, but he's got Sheffield. If there's any game where if you've had Rashford for all this time, I think you just go with him 1 more week and then wildcard next week if you haven't used it already. And if you've already wildcarded and you've got Rashford, then I don't know what to say to you, but yeah, I'd keep him. What do you think if you had him? And let's say you're planning on wildcarding in game week 10, you just keep him, right? I'm guessing for Sheffield.
Yeah, if you still got your wild card in, obviously you're going to use it in game week 10. Yeah, I'll keep Rashford to that game. If you've already used your wild card though, and you still have Rashford, then he'd be gone.
Yeah, for sure.
He won't be in that game for Sheffield United. That's my opinion.
Yeah, Rashford has been disappointing to say the least. I've owned him for a few weeks, and it feels so good that I've wildcarded him out now because it's just one of those that was kind of affecting my overall team and my rank at the start.
Yeah, he has been a frustrating player, I think, this season so far for those who did own him. But on the other hand, he did look good in the international break for England. But again, that's a different ball game entirely because he's playing for his nation, and obviously it's the same for Harry Maguire. He played well for England, but when he came back to Man United, he played and struggled. So again, we can't really reflect on the international team for obviously Rashford.
Yeah, Elliot with a comment. You reckon Reguilon starts today and need a 1 week punt defender? I wouldn't be going with punting on Man United defenders for sure. I know it's Sheffield, so you can see an easy clean sheet potentially, but I just don't trust the Man United defense. And with whether Reguilon starts again is up for debate because he's just come back, I think, from injury and he's just been in
Yeah,
training, so I wouldn't go there really.
I'd probably
Personally,
recommend Evans. If I was going for a Man United defender for 1 week punt, it would be probably Evans.
yeah,
But
I would have just avoid United
yeah,
completely in terms of the defense. I'd go with I think Udogie or Porro, someone like that who's got Fulham at
yeah.
home.
Or we could go for the one that Huss recommended, obviously in our last stream, and that is to Tsimikas, because obviously
Yeah,
Robertson was out injured in the international break for Scotland, so Tsimikas could potentially be a 1 week punt.
yeah. Simicast is a very interesting proposition because we know Robertson is actually injured and he's going to have a surgery on his shoulder, so he could be out for up to 12 weeks. We're hearing. So again, it looks like a long-term layoff for Robertson, but there is one little stipulation, and that is Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez could actually come in and play left back, and if that's the case, then Simicast becomes obviously a bit of an avoid. But I think we have to give Everton the game. If Simicast starts against Everton, I think game week 10 wildcarders is going to be very popular to include Simicast as a cheap 4.4 million defender that plays for Liverpool and is going to start every game. But just keep an eye out on the lineup. I still think Gomez, don't rule him out or starting left back today. But for those on Simicast, it's definitely an exciting one if he does start. Ali Max says, yes, still have a wild card, looking to keep even longer, use 2 free transfers game week 10. I mean, if you feel like you don't need the wild card, then it's up to you, but you got to use it before game week 19, but you might get other opportunities, I guess. It's up to you, mate, depending on your team and your structure. Any reason you guys don't want to captain Salah, says Elika FC. I mean, you don't
Well,
own Salah.
no, I don't own Salah, but the reason being, if I did have him in my team, it would be because Haaland, I think, has a more approachable fixture. I think a more appealing one because Brighton have conceded a lot of goals, especially to Aston Villa. Aston Villa scored 6 goals against Brighton, so I think that fills me with a bit more confidence. And going
Yeah.
for Haaland, captain this week, because I think that is a fixture to target, especially without Estupinian as well in that defence. You've got Lamptey instead, potentially. So, yeah, I'm looking like Haaland would be the reason I don't captain Salah.
Yeah, obviously I own Salah, so it's actually more of a thing I've got to debate. And the reason why I'm not looking at it is again, it's similar to the goals Brighton have been letting in. So they let in 2 against Liverpool, but we know Liverpool's attack is very good. They did let in 6 to Villa. That was an away game. They let in 1 against Man United, as another away game. And they let in 1 against Wolves as well. So they've not kept a single clean sheet, as we've mentioned that. And I just think Man City aren't going to lose 3 games in a row. Surely not. Not this Man City team anyway. So that makes me want to back Haaland. I don't think Haaland's actually scored in his last 2 games. So it is crisis mode for Haaland. No goals in 2 games. But look, we know Haaland's still the top scorer in the league if he's got 8 goals, which for any other player, that's still a very, very good return in 8 games. So, yeah, I think Haaland's probably going to bounce back. I will be surprised. But we know he was he struggled a lot against Arsenal. Obviously, couldn't get the supply line to him. I think he recorded 0.00 XG, which is a bit mad, considering Haaland. Even against Wolves, he was stifled in that 90 minutes. So he's not had a great couple of game weeks, but I think Brighton is the way Brighton play. They like to play their football. They're not really going to change for anyone, and that could play into Man City's hands. So essentially, the reason why is I think Brighton is still a good fixture, even though they're a good team, and Salah has Everton at home. Look, Salah could easily haul against Everton. Don't get me wrong, but I just think I'm feeling more comfortable with Haaland this week. But let
I
us know,
think,
Elika, who you're captain in.
yeah, because I think both, if I'm honest, will do well. I think Haaland will do well, but Salah will also do well. So maybe it all depends on who scores more. I think between the two.
Well, yeah, of course. But if you had to put let's say if you put money on it, you still
Yeah.
go Haaland, right?
Yeah, I'll probably still go Haaland if I had to put money on it for him to
Yeah.
just to do a bit more better.
But yeah, guys, there's like what 25 minutes to the deadline. Um, so get those teams in, get those transfers in, I should say, and then your captaincy picks. I mean, I've gone Son Vice. I'm probably going to change it to Salah Vice, to be honest. Not that it makes a difference. But yeah, I'll go Salah Vice. And in your regards, back to your team, are we going to get Darwin news?
That's the thing. I would love to hear Darwin news because it will make the difference to me making a transfer or not. I think I really don't want to make a transfer. I really want to roll, but again, it looks more tempting to go for Alvarez.
Surely, even if you hear Darwin's out, you have to keep him because otherwise, what? Obviously, the wild card you brought him in for a reason, longer term sort of as well.
Yeah, that's also true. Bringing the Darwin for the longer term period. Yeah, I think I'm just put off that fact he could be benched. I think that's the only thing that's making me second guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always worried of going with Darwin on a Game Week 9 wildcard because I knew, or Game Week 8 wildcard, I should say, because there was an international break straight after that, and we've seen Darwin get benched after an international break. So that was one thing I did issue potentially I raised with Darwin. But yeah, we'll see. I don't see any team news. If anyone knows if there's been any team news, probably get it a bit closer to the deadline. But no, nothing really. No, I don't see any team news.
I don't think we'll be getting any before the deadline.
I think there's some Man City news. Apparently, Alvarez, Haaland, Foden, Stones, Vardy all start. Stones back.
Stones back. That's a pretty solid team there. Lineup wise. Oh, I wish I didn't go Darwin in my wild card now.
You wish you didn't go Darwin?
No.
I mean, this was always likely to happen with Darwin because Liverpool. That's what I've maintained all along. Salah is the only one that is nailed in that front line. Gakpo, Diaz, Jota, Nunes, they can all miss a game here and there. So for me, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I still think Darwin's a good pick though.
Yeah, he's still a good pick. It's just a shame he's going to be benched against Everton.
I mean, it's not confirmed. It's just what I think.
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but it is expected.
Yeah, and also, yeah, because they did actually. I think one of the journalists actually came out and said he complained about the cramp issue. So again,
yeah,
we'll see. Ali Max says, which Brighton assets interest you from next week? You sort of answered this one, didn't you? But yeah, Brighton assets.
Yeah, I mentioned Matoma as a nice Brighton asset to go for, obviously after Game Week 9. Because I think Matoma, he hasn't really, he's dropped a bit of ownership, but not really much. I think he's still relatively highly owned.
Yeah, 37%.
Yeah, so he's still a little bit template. Probably would be a popular pick, especially in Sheffield United in Game Week 12. But I think early on, when he has Fulham at home in Game Week 10, I think he's a nice Brighton asset to go for.
Yeah,
not a bad record so far. He's had 3 goals, 3 assists so far this season. So yeah, he's one that I could probably go for.
Yeah. Also looking at Matoma and Brighton. The next, obviously, Man City's tough this week, but after that, Fulham at home, Everton away, Sheffield at home, Nottingham Forest away. That block of 4 looks nice. You probably want some Brighton coverage. Mitoma's going to be the one that's most popular, I think. The one everyone's going to go for. If you want it to be a bit different, what is out there in terms of Brighton? I mean, there is March, who you could go for. There is obviously a couple of games where he has not started, which is a worry. In Game Week 5 and 6, he didn't actually play. But he also has 3 goals this season and 1 assist. Ferguson's an interesting one if you need a cheap forward. No, Ferguson, Again, the worry, he never really plays 90 minutes. So I think Mitoma's the only one I probably would go for. I can't see me going March or anyone like that. With João Pedro, even another player that doesn't really play full 90 minutes. So I think Mitoma's, it's boring. I think everyone has Mitoma. It's going to have Mitoma. So I think I'd probably go Mitoma.
Yeah, he's like the Salah in Brighton. He's probably the most nailed player to go for in terms of the attacking players.
Yeah, this is a fair comment as well, actually. Adingra, maybe, says Ali Mack. I mean, Adingra is an interesting player because I watched him against Liverpool and he was probably the man of the match against Liverpool. I think he scored against Liverpool, obviously, in the 2-2 draw. He has only played, that was his first 90 minutes, but he has been playing in the last 4 matches. Would I go there? It's possible. At the 0.4% super low owned differential at 5 million could be interesting if you want to back it, but I still have more faith in someone proven like Matoma. But Adingra is one to watch. Definitely looks like an exciting player, and seems like Brian have found themselves another gem. Would you consider Nick Pope as a bad pick on a wild card as well? What do you think of Newcastle defense wise, having Nick Pope?
I don't think Nick Pope's a bad pick going forward to go with. I mean, if you're looking to go double Newcastle, like having Trippier and Nick Pope together, I don't think that's a bad. I don't think that's a bad thing to go for, especially with the fixtures that Newcastle have. I mean, the only difficult one they have is Arsenal at home in game week 11, but Crystal Palace in 9, Wolves away in 10, and then Bournemouth away in 12, Chelsea at home 13, Man United in 14, Everton in 15. These fixtures are not so bad for Newcastle, especially the home ones as well, because Newcastle particularly do better at home than they do away against teams. So I'm not backing against going double Newcastle if you're looking to bring Nick Pope and a defender in.
Yeah, with me, Nick Pope's too expensive. 5.5 million. I would rather go cheap on the goalkeeper, personally. I'd go with Areola, I still think, on a wild card. Just fixtures are nice and he's a lot cheaper. 7 million sterling replacement, says AJ Ibrahim. Who are you replacing him with Sterling? Who are you replacing Sterling for? He's actually got Sterling, I think, as his profile pick. So surely you got to stay faithful to Sterling, man.
Yeah, you got to keep faith in that.
Who would you replace him for, though?
If I had to pick to replace him with, again, it could be. It's very hard to pick one at 7 million because there aren't that many that have a good fixture. I would probably pick, if I had to go for one, would be Diaby, I think, at 6.7 million. Because Diaby has really nice long-term fixtures for Aston Villa. And so far this season, he hasn't had a bad record. He's had 2 goals, 4 assists, low owned as well, 13.2%. And he could be a good pick to go for, especially for the Luton game in game week 10 home fixture for Diaby. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple I like in terms of Sterling replacements under that 7 million bracket, which first one up, you've mentioned him. Obviously, Diaby, I like him. At his price, 6.7 million. Good fixtures for Villa. Neto is the other one I've got in my team as well. So I recommend Neto, who's got Bournemouth away in game week 9. He's only 5.8 million, so very cheap again. He's a decent pick. I think Ward-Prowse is an interesting one at he's 6.3 million. Owned by only 13% managers. Ward-Prowse, 2 goals, 3 assists. He has surprised me so far this season. So he's another one that I like the look of if you can't afford a Bowen. So yeah, I think those guys, Neto, Diaby, Ward-Prowse, Gordon, again, I like Gordon. If you want to go cheap at Newcastle, he's back from his suspension and he's got Palace and Wolves back-to-back coming up. And we've all spoke about Mitoma, not this week, but from game week 10, Mitoma's fixtures are very nice. So those are the guys that I would be going with, AJ. I'll let you take a comment here. Who's a better pick, Jordan? Says Charnel. Saka, Odegaard, or Martinelli for game week 10?
For game week 10, that's a good question, actually. Well, it's going to be between Martinelli and Odegaard, I think.
No
I'll
Saka?
probably not sure about Saka for game week 10.
Mhm.
Either.
What if he's
Maybe
back? If he plays against Chelsea and he's back, assuming he's fit, obviously, would you still think you prefer the other two?
Yes. Yeah, let's say assume he's fit, then I'll probably pick Saka then in that case.
Mhm.
But if he wasn't for game week 10 fit, I'll probably pick Odegaard.
Yeah, I probably agreed, actually. I just think next week a lot of us are going to want Saka if he's fit, because Arsenal's fixtures do sort of turn, and obviously going without Saka at his ownership is always a bit scary if you don't have him.
Yeah, it's true. I just think Saka's a bit overworked.
Yeah.
He needs more rest, I think, because I feel like he's going to come back. He's going to get something again, and he's going to be taken off and be injured for, again, however long. So Saka's a difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna want Saka for sure if he's fit and he plays a game week 9 and he looks good. I want to take a question about, obviously, again, Diaz from Harry. No clue about Liverpool team news. Start Diaz or Diaby? I would actually start both and play 3 defenders if you can, because I think both will probably start. This is a good question, which I want to take, actually. We've got 2 of the same comments, sort of. Haas, as a Liverpool fan, will Szoboszlai ever be a good FPL pick? Now, again, Szoboszlai is an interesting player because not many are looking at him. He's only owned by 5.7% of managers, so he's low owned. And for those that haven't watched, Szoboszlai, he has sort of been a revelation to this Liverpool midfield. He's been excellent, if I'm being honest, watching him. A great player. And obviously, as a Liverpool fan, is very important, and it's quite impressive the way he just fitted in like a glove into a Liverpool team straight away. So, will he ever be an FPL asset? I wouldn't rule it out, no, because the problem is obviously Salah's the one that we all have, and then it's hard to fit another 7 million midfielder in when you've got Salah already. But you take a look at Szoboszlai, 2 assists and 1 goal so far this season, so it's not too bad in terms of returns. He scored that lovely goal against Villa. And Liverpool's fixtures coming up are really nice: Everton, Forest, Luton, and I wouldn't mind taking a punt on someone like Szoboszlai, and it is a punt. But Szoboszlai, the way he's playing right now at Liverpool, he's kind of doing it all. He's like an all-action midfielder. He's running back, running forward. He's trying to link up play, help out defensively as well. So if Liverpool got a pure defensive midfielder like a number 6, like a Fabinho, which they had back then, like in a peak, that would allow Szoboszlai to go forward and work and do his magic really in the final third. But at the moment, the way Liverpool are playing, Szoboszlai is running back as well a lot, and you can see by the distance covered. He's covered, I think he's in the top 3 distance covered already for midfielders in the Premier League. So I think it's a good pick. I do, and he's not someone that I'd include right now. But if I see him playing further forward, maybe linking up with a Darwin or Salah, I think he could be a good FPL pick. Definitely, I wouldn't rule it out. Even seasons to come.
Yeah, I particularly like Szoboszlai for Liverpool. I've watched him very closely when I've watched matches, and he never seems to make mistakes. Anything he does is just perfect. Like it's really no errors what Szoboszlai does, and I feel like, as I said, if he played more forward, he could be a very attractive and appealing player to go for in that midfield spot, because he just seems to have played for Liverpool all his life. The way he plays, it's just like there's nothing really that you could say that's really you could put as a bad point for Szoboszlai.
Yeah, also we've seen he likes a shot. So he does like to shoot from long range, which again, Liverpool not have had that sort of player. So he could culminate in some goals from outside the box as well. Jordan, though, comment here from George Kent. I've got 2 free transfers, but no idea what move to make. If I send my team, could you help me out, boys? Yeah, please, George, send your team through, and then Jordan, I'll let you take this comment as well when he sends it through. I'll let you answer it.
Yeah, we still got time. We still got, I think, 10 more minutes before deadline ends, so you got time to send that, George.
Yeah, send us your teams through, guys. Send us your dilemmas, your transfer plans, your whatever questions you have. We're gonna answer them for you guys as well, and then we will do a community draft thing. Jordan, we forgot. We
Oh
forgot.
yeah,
We got to get that back up.
we actually did forget that last week. We did
Oh,
not
okay.
do it in the
I'll let
red
you
zone.
bring it up. I'll go with my team for now. I'll let you bring it up and I'll let you answer. I'll read the team out, George's team, and then you let me know as well. So he's in goal. He's got Ariola and Leno, Shah, Botman, Udogi, Cash, Kabore, Saka, Salah, Madison, Embuemo, Diaby, Haaland, Alvarez, Archer. He's got 0.3 million in the bank and he's got 2 free transfers.
Okay, it's a good team. You got double Newcastle defense, which I recommended. Got Cash, Aston Villa defender, Doggy, Saka. That's very hard to do a transfer on that team because you've pretty much got all the nice players going forward. Oh, could do in Burma. I know he has a good fixture, but I can't see any other player that I'd want to transfer out. It's only in Bremo who I think, out of all the picks, that I'd probably take out for a transfer. I mean, that's pretty mad considering he has Burnley at home, but he has had 4 blanks in the last 4 game weeks. And compared to everyone else, he's been the least appealing so far. It would be in Bremo, George.
Yeah, and Mboma is the one that I'm looking at as well, potentially taking out. Yeah, maybe not this week because it's a tough one because he can go and score and then he could punish you. But after that, Mboma's fixes do turn again. I think Neto again. I've got Neto, so he could be one you look at. We've got a nice fixture as well against Bournemouth away, if you want to go there. So maybe like a Mbeumo to a Neto, or even of a game week 10, you can get Matoma in as well. So I'd probably do one transfer and then roll the second one and have 2 again in game week 10. So the team looks fine though, if I'm being honest. You got the Newcastle, Villa defense, and Tottenham as well, which is popular. Saka's the one. If I was you, I'd just keep Saka now. And Saka's the one where he could get benched potentially. So you'll have options to bring on a player on in that case. Not hearing any Liverpool news, says Ali Mack. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to get any. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, I think I'll just have to go with it. Go with Darwin. I'm not going to think about any transfers. I think going with Darwin and leaving it rolling. I think that's for me.
Yeah, I'm still thinking Jota Diaz will start. So yeah, we'll see. Simicast apparently also starts, but it's not confirmed. Jordan, this is a community draft. How did we do in terms of points?
Actually, really good. 60 points for the community draft, and we're at 1.6 million overall rank. So
we're beating me. We're beating me, and we've not. This team has never owned Haaland all season.
Yeah, it's impressive. Literally, in a very differential team.
All right, let's do transfers then.
Yeah, so if we move on to the transfer page, so obviously Robinson is a red flag because he's out injured with dislocated shoulder. So,
what's the transfer like? How many moves do we have? Is it 1 free transfer or
we've got 2 free transfers this week?
Nice one. We got a lot of money as well.
Yeah, 8.0 mil. So,
what are we doing then?
What does the chat think to do? Transfer-wise, got 2 free transfers, 8 million in the bank.
Let us know, guys. We've got 6 minutes before we have to confirm what we're doing. I think we should do a midfield transfer and just bench Robertson potentially and play Porro, Akanji, White, or there's more upside, I guess. So yeah, George, the rules are the players we bring in have to be under 10% ownership. So we only have to have differentials in the team. So whenever we transferred these players in initially, they were under 10% owned. So obviously, likes of Son, etc., have skyrocketed in ownership. But when we did this team, it was a differential team. So we are only allowed to bring in players under 10% ownership. What about Trent? Is he under? He's not under 10%, is he?
Right.
I doubt he is.
He's on. Yeah, he is 8.3%.
Oh wow, maybe Trent then. Robertson for Trent.
Robertson for Trent.
And then we might as well confirm that, see what the team looks like.
Okay, so let's confirm that. So yeah, Robertson out, Trent in for the draft. And this is what the team looks like.
Sterling's the worry there. Potentially.
Yeah.
Who captain? I think captain who? Like Trent against Everton, be different. Can you see a clean
Yeah, why
sheet for
not?
Liverpool?
Yeah, we make Trent the captain. Differential peak. And you got Pedro Porro, who's got Fulham at home. So I'll probably put Ben White on the bench.
Yeah.
Got Dallo, who has Sheffield United away. Again.
You probably keep him on the bench.
Yeah,
I think maybe first bench.
Yeah.
We could do one more move though, like someone like a Sterling against Arsenal. I mean, we could just keep him, just give him one more week.
Yeah, he did come off a nice haul last week, so I think be reluctant to keep him. Goalkeepers, Martinez has West Ham at home on the bench. Johnson
play Martinez, I guess.
Yeah, why not? But it's not a bad looking team, if I'm honest. I think Sterling's the only really tough fixture in that starting 11.
Yeah, it's a good team.
Still got one free transfer, but I think that could be kept. Yeah, roll the transfer. That'll save the team.
Okay, nice one.
And that would be the Community draft. Done.
All right. I'll let you do your team as well, Jordan. Any last minute teams, if you want to do your squad on your phone or whatever. Darwin benched.
Oh, okay.
There's some news. Is it confirmed though? Is it confirmed or is it someone just is showing just? Oh no, it is. Darwin bench, Diaz starts. I mean, we can't say we're surprised. Well, I'm not surprised.
Okay. It all depends now on when Darwin comes on for me. I hope he comes on early.
Yeah, I guess so. Are you tempted to make a last minute move? You've got 2 minutes.
Actually, yes, I am.
Wow.
It's going to be mad doing it, but I think just for this week.
Okay, we've got some last minute news, guys. Jordan's going to make a move.
I think I'll need to sign out. But actually, I can't do it.
You might as well use your phone. You might as well use your phone.
Do it on my phone. Yeah.
If you really want to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it, guys.
What about someone like Højlund? Man United Højlund.
No, I'm good, thank you.
I'm just saying, Højlund's got Sheffield.
He has got Sheffield.
Ali Max says Darwin will still get close to 30 mins. You got 1 minute, Jordan. So I don't know pressure, but you've got seconds probably.
It's done.
What have you done?
Went Darwin to Alvarez.
Damn. You're going to refresh the team. You've got Darwin Alvarez.
I'll need to look. I don't know if I have time to refresh the team on the website.
Let's see if it lets you, but I will bring up the fixture. So there you go, guys. Jordan's done an off live transfer because it was too early. So Ali Max saying you're so cool under pressure. Yeah, you just press the button within 20 seconds, mate. Bang, Alvarez is in.
I'm normally cool under pressure in a few circumstances. I think this is one of them.
You remember when the stream I was panicking last season? Can't remember who was benched. But yeah, it was panic stations, and the website crashed and everything.
Yeah, it just went all crazy in the last few seconds. But I'm pretty calm about this because of obviously
I'm surprised he did it. I thought you'd keep Darwin and just play him if he comes on off the bench because you were saying you'll just play him.
I know. I thought I was half 50-50 in that. My half of mine was saying maybe play Darwin, see how many minutes he gets. But maybe because I've seen Darwin confirmed bench,
Mm,
probably turned to the other side of me saying take him out for this week and
yeah,
play a player that's going to play 90-minute football, which
fair
outrageous.
enough, man. Fair enough.
But yeah, I tried to log in, but it was too late. The deadline is up. But
Okay, so yeah, obviously the game's
yeah,
updating. However,
yeah,
don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to score predictions.
yeah.
Oh, hold on, wait a sec. I just realized I haven't done my Super Six.
Your Super Six.
Yeah, predictions. So let me quickly do that.
Okay. If you guys want to see, obviously, the last transfer I did make, check out the Twitter because I will tweet out, obviously, what I've done with my team after the stream.
Yeah, check the Twitter, guys. Follow us on the socials if you haven't already. The FPL Duo on Twitter. Follow our Discord. Follow our Instagram. Everything is all on the screen, all in the description below. Follow my new channel as well. Why not plug it as well? But yeah, score prediction time. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Hopefully that's big enough. Yep, perfect. All right, so let's start off with the first game. Liverpool at home to Everton in that Merseyside derby. It looks like Darwin is benched. How do you see this one going, Jordan? Will Liverpool win
Uh,
or Everton get something?
yeah, I think Liverpool in this game very comfortably at Anfield. It's going to be very tough for Everton to play. Obviously, Anfield, as every team does struggle. I do think Everton will score, so I'm going to go with 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. Nice one. I'm gonna go for a Liverpool win. I think it'll be a tough game. Maybe if Liverpool score early, then I think we'll calm the nerves. But I'm gonna back Liverpool on the win as well. But I think it will be a clean sheet win. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool. Moving on to Bournemouth at home to Wolves. I'll be keeping an eye out on this one as a Neto owner. But how do you see this one panning out?
Well, Bournemouth are struggling at the moment. I think they're bottom of the table and come off with a loss as well. It's not filling them with much confidence, but it is a home fixture for them. But on the other hand, we've got Wolves who look pretty good this season. I am seeing a Wolves win away, and I'm going to go with, I think, 2-0 Wolves. I think they can keep a clean sheet too.
2-0 Wolves. Okay. I'm gonna go for 1-1. I don't know why. I just think Bournemouth might get a point. Yeah, I'll go 1-1. Hopefully Neto scores though in that game. Next up, it is Brentford at home to Burnley.
Oh, yes.
You've owned Mbuemo. Do you see him rewarding the faith, or do you think Burnley can maybe surprise some of us?
Well, I'm hoping Brentford can obviously bounce back and get their second win of the season. And I think this is where it's going to come from, I think, for me. And hopefully Brentford, obviously, Mbuemo scores as well in that game. But I do see a Brentford win. It's going to be a tough one because Burnley do play really good defence. So I'm going to go with 2-0, I think, Brentford. Hopefully Mbuemo is one of them to score.
I'm going to go for a Brentford win because it's at home. I'll back Brentford. I've been a bit disappointed with Brentford this season so far, but yeah, I'll back them for this win. 2-1. I'll go, and but I don't think it'll be an easy one. I think Burnley will make it a bit tricky for them. Next up, we've got Man City at home to Brighton, coming off a back of 2 defeats in a row for the first time in Guardiola's management at Man City, I believe. Do you see Man City winning this one, Jordan, or Brighton keep it up? The decent form they've had.
Yeah, I see Man City win this one, especially at home at the Etihad, and come off with 2 back-to-back losses. I think they want to get back on track, and I think this is a fixture they can do it in. It just depends on how many Man City do score against Brighton, but I'm going to say they can score. Let's say they're going to score 4 goals for Man City, and I'm going to say 4-1 Man City.
4-1 Man City, nice one. I'm going to go similar. I'm going to go 3-1 for Man City. I think they'll concede. I think Brighton will have a bit in terms of attack to get a goal. However, I think Man City will be too strong, and I think they'll get put a couple past Brighton being at home. So I'll back Man City this one. And to get back to winning ways, moving on to Newcastle at home to Palace. Again, Newcastle need to win. I think Palace have a few injuries as well. I think Eze's still not back. Do you see Newcastle winning this one here? And what would you think in terms of how it can go?
Yeah, I think Newcastle have a great chance of winning this game, especially at home. Like I said, Newcastle are much better at home, and they're most likely going to keep a clean sheet, I think, as well. So I'm gonna go with 3-0 Newcastle. I think there's a strong home win for them and a clean sheet in there too.
George says last 3 games have been 0-0, which is interesting. I didn't know that. Um, I don't know what to. This is quite a tough game to predict. I'll go 1-0 Newcastle though. Actually, 2-1 Newcastle. I think they'll concede. Maybe that's hoping they concede as a not Trippier non-owner, but I'll go 2-1 Newcastle. Um, Moving along, we've got Forest at home to Luton. Obviously, the community draft, we've got Morgan Gibbs White against Luton, so that could be a nice fixture for him. Do you see Forest winning or Luton getting a point or maybe even a win?
It's going to be an interesting one because Nottingham Forest don't have Bowani because he is out for this
Okay.
game. So it's going to be interesting for, especially Gibbs White, as we mentioned, he could play a bit more attacking in a position where Bowani usually plays. But I think Nottingham Forest can still get the win. I think Luton still have a chance to maybe get a draw out of it, but I don't see a win for them in that game. So I'm gonna go with a draw. Actually, I'm gonna go with 1-1. I think not Forest and Luton.
Mm-hmm. Next up, the big one, I think, as well. This weekend, another good game. Chelsea Arsenal. I'll be watching that one. Chelsea have picked up a bit of form. Obviously, Arsenal, big win for them last time out against City. How do you see this one going, Jordan? Obviously, Chelsea are at home.
Yeah, it's interesting for obviously Chelsea because they had a massive goal spree last game week, which surprised many, I think, because we didn't see them score that many in ages. But it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be quite cagey and different. I think a low scoring one, especially for this type of game. I'm going to go with Arsenal win though. I think they come off a massive win against Man City. I think this is going to be a nice boost for them, especially away. So I'm going to go with 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Okay, wow. Okay. I'm going to be different here. I'm going to predict something that, is maybe not a lot of people would see coming. Let us know your predictions as well, guys. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Chelsea might get a point somehow. I don't know why I believe that. It's just a hunch I have. So I'm going to back a 1-1 draw for Chelsea to maybe surprise a few and get a point here. But we will see. Next up, we do have Sheffield United at home to Manchester United, your team. Surely Man United win this one comfortably.
Yes, I can say at least Man United can win if against Sheffield United, even though it's an away fixture. I don't think it's going to be high scoring though. I'm going to say 1-0 Man United. I think there's literally going to be one goal in this game, and hopefully it's coming from Man United. So hopefully there's a Man United win in it.
1-0 you're going?
Yeah.
I'll go 2-1 Man United away win. So yeah, I think they'll concede. But yeah, I expect Man United to get the job done here. So that's the Saturday's fixtures out the way. It's quite a few fixtures, 8 fixtures today. So a lot of football. Next up, Sunday, we've got the one fixture, Aston Villa at home to West Ham. It's Watkins v Bowen. It's Diaby v Ward-Prowse or wherever you want to go. A lot of interesting picks that we have in our FPL team. So how do you see this one going, Jordan?
Yeah, it should be a nice, exciting game to watch. Both teams have looked good this season, and I imagine this game's going to be really end-to-end on both sides. But whichever way it goes, I think we'll be happy because a lot of us have both teams in assets. So to call this one, it's going to be close. I'm going to go with high scoring prediction. I'm going to say 2-2. I think both would draw again, but it'll be a high scoring draw.
Yeah, it's mad you say that because that's exactly the score I'm going with. I'm going 2-2 Aston Villa West Ham. Hopefully DRB can return for me in that one, and Watkins as an owner, and Bowen. I know you own Bowen as well, but yeah, I'm going to back a draw 2-2 Desmond. But yeah, look, after that match, we are live as well tomorrow. So make sure you tune in 7 p.m. UK time for the knee jerk stream looking ahead to game week 10. So tomorrow we are streaming, guys. So don't forget, hit that notification bell. Make sure you are subscribed. Hit that like button for our instant reaction after Villa and West Ham. Finally, on Monday, we have that one fixture, Spurs at home to Fulham. Son, Maddison, Udogi, Porro, all of us own quite a few Spurs assets. A lot of us are on a triple up. Will Spurs get the job done?
I mean, they should get the job done. They just about got it done against Luton last week in game week, obviously 8. But yeah, they should get the job done at home. Spurs have been playing really well this season, going unbeaten so far without a loss. So it does fill them with a lot of confidence. I'm going to go with 3-1 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Spurs win. I think they'll keep a clean sheet. So, yeah, maybe Son hopefully can get a goal here, reward us owners. Maddison maybe get involved. But, yeah, we'll see. I'd love a Porro goal. But, yeah, 2-0 Spurs. And that is the fixtures out the way, guys, for game week 9. We're back tomorrow for a knee-jerk stream, as I mentioned earlier. So make sure you tune in for that. We're going to wrap it up here. I think that's the end of the stream. We're going to go watch the football, actually. Liverpool against Everton. I'm going to be watching that definitely. Also, guys, just to let you know, I will be going live again later on my channel reacting to Liverpool against Everton. So if you do want to subscribe to my channel, which is Huss Talks Football, link for the channel is in the description below. So do check the description. Subscribe to my new channel. It's all football related, so it's FPL sort of as well, where I discuss all your teams, but mainly Liverpool. So if you do want to watch that, check that out on the link in the description below. And like the stream. Make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, good luck for all. Thanks for the stream, says Ali Mac. Thank you, Ali. Always appreciated. George as well. Best of luck, boys. Green Arrow incoming. Yeah, hopefully. Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Just 2 things. Obviously, for those who weren't sure about the transfer I made, I did make the transfer at the last second. So if you go to our Twitter soon, once the game's updated, I will tweet out the team so that you can see, obviously, the changes I made at the last minute of the deadline stream. I was unable to show it due to it was past the deadline stream and the game was updating. But apart from that, until then, we'll see you tomorrow for the knee jerk to see how both we've done and obviously how you guys have done as well. So until then, take care, enjoy the weekend, and especially enjoy the football, and we'll see you Sunday.